G'day everybody. Alibar Jones from the Earthguard Astral Projection Group. So I'm here today to tell you about yet another of our adventures on the astral planes, and we've got a few big items on our agenda, but this one happened because one of our teammates we haven't seen for a while. We've all been talking to her, but she hasn't shown up to any meetings later, to any flights. So I asked her, made the mistake of asking, so how are you? And a 20-minute spiel about the problem she's having with her partner and his sex addiction. So it sort of nominated the task at hand for our group, because we're all about looking after each other and reducing the stress that each of us faces. But it's a difficult one because the architect of that is one of the most powerful demon lords you could imagine. Debatably more powerful than Lucifer himself. Having a dedicated attack on Pist Sophia, it's a big deal. And I know people who have lost their marbles going in to fight Pist Sophia. And, there's nothing that can be done for them, unfortunately, because they just don't want the help. That's how clever they've gone. So this one, I've been sort of a little bit shy to attack Pist Sophia, but when I'm working with this group, all of that apprehension just disappears because team we're working with now are just damn rock stars without being funny about it. So what we found is that Pistis Sophia draws people in with, I call it the confectionery of sex. It's sweet, it doesn't cost anything to make, but it has health side effects. It's junk food in sex form. And so what she's doing is getting people hooked on the sugar fix. You see, Pistis Sophia has a very, very rich and thorough method for hooking people in and through making unlimited numbers of contracts. And what she does, where she wants people to be, is in a certain headspace where there's not a single thought that isn't flavored with sex. Like you cannot think a whole two thoughts in a row without sex being part of it somewhere. And that's her input. She really did get in your head. Or she took you into her head might be a better way of thinking of it, because the idea is to draw you into a dimension where she controls the reality. The emotional flavor is hers. The thoughts that run through it are hers. Like she sets the tone for people who are in here. And there were tens of thousands, millions of sex addicts in this single dimension in this facility. Oh, and it has lots and lots of different subgroups, but all of them are about this one sort of sick and overarching pull into that thought method, into that thought train. It was a bit crazy, it was a bit sick. And so what we did was, and there are three parts to flavoring that. One is standard demonic, one comes from Mirror World, but by far and away the largest contribution was from Pistis Sophia. So we shut down the contributions, the the thought ideals or the frequencies that go into that dimension where all these people are stuck. They're sort of broadcast from these three locations, and we blew them up. And then what we did was we started sweeping across this vast plane of poor trapped humans, cleaning up the frequencies or the thought patterns that they're caught in. And they look like ropes. They look like sort of ropes isn't the word. It's because it's more biological. And the place is heavily populated by incubus and succubus. And it was just a filthy, filthy place to be in. But everybody started to be covered in this mud, and then it would solidify and then encase them. So that really they were, without some help, they were never going to get out of that mindset. And so our team spent a long time sweeping through, cleaning up all of this kind of mess, all of these different traps and shackles that Pista Sophia had trapped all of these people with. And it was a big job, and I'm brushing over it very quickly. But what I want to say is that that sort of sick sexuality that is broadcast through the internet and through the victim feminine, it's going to cut down a couple of notches because this was a major facility for Pist, Sophia, a major harvest, a major trap room. Think of it like a shed full of 10 million cows all being milked because that's what they were doing to these people, milking their sexual energy and stimulating it to a ridiculous degree. So, yeah, there's nothing pretty about what was going on there, but we pushed the entire program back a step. I'm not going to call out that we destroyed her, but we did hit one of her main facilities, and our friend whose partner was caught in there was released. And now here's the strange thing: either he's going to go running back to Pistis Sophia's arms, or he's going to turn over a new leaf. That has occurred for millions of people who are caught in that trap. They get that choice now. So that's our gift to humanity, and that's all we've got to say for now. Look, my love to you all. Stay well, and bye-bye.